And I told him, sorry, but we're not looking for someone who can juggle live sharks while tap dancing on a tightrope. Can you believe it, Alice?
Oh Bob, your musical auditions are always such a spectacle. But you have to admit, it makes for good entertainment on the show.
Well, it's not exactly what I had in mind when I started this project. I just wanted to create something special. You know? Something that could bring joy to the universe.
Oh, I know Bob. We all know how much this musical means to you. But remember, talent is hard to come by, especially in outer space.
I suppose you're right, Alice. It's just frustrating sometimes. I want this musical to be perfect. And I can't seem to find the right cast.
Alright, everyone, hold on a moment. Can we please have a little silence? Or at least something close to it?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Earth. We have a lot to cover today, but first, let's take a moment to appreciate the camaraderie of our crew.
Charlie, a bit more energy, please.
Fine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another electrifying episode of Earth. We have a lot to cover today, but first, let's take a moment to appreciate the camaraderie of our crew.
Oh, what a lovely moment indeed.
Affirmative. The crew gathers yet again to face another day of mundane activities.
Come on Karl and Roger, don't be such donor. We're here to entertain and inform the universe. And speaking of which, let's recap the highlights from our previous episode.
Oh no, not the highlights. I hope you won't bring up my little incident from episode 265.
Of course I will Bob. How can we forget? The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a laser sword. You really know how to make a statement.
Great. Just what I needed. A reminder of my easy fit.
Hissy fit? What did Bob do?
And let's not forget about episode 266 where Bob had the pleasure of interviewing potential cast members for his musical. It was quite the show, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. The lack of talent and outrageous demands really made me question the state of the entertainment industry.
Well, Bob, you certainly have your work cut out for you. But don't worry, I have faith in your vision. After all, this musical is a labor of love.
Labor of love? Sounds like a romantic comedy. Maybe Bob should consider a career change.
Well, Debby, you know what they say. Those who can't do, become production managers.
Career change, huh? Maybe I'll become a fortune teller. I can see it now. Bob's accounting musical, a Broadway success. Not.
Debby, we're discussing important matters here. Now, let's move on to today's headlines.
And now, for our headlines.
Japan's Prime Minister saves the day in Ukraine crisis.
Prime Minister Kishida of Japan has announced an additional $100 million in emergency humanitarian aid to Ukraine and neighboring countries. The move is seen as a strong signal that Japan is actively addressing the ongoing crisis.
I guess when it comes to humanitarian aid, Japan is saying konnichiwa to the world.
And here's an interesting tidbit about Japan. Did you know that it is illegal to dance after midnight in Japan? I guess they take their bedtime routine seriously.
Well, I guess they'll have to save their dance moves for daylight or Bob.
Moving on to our next headline. Jordan embraces artificial intelligence.
Looks like Jordan is upgrading from Aladdin's magic carpet to AI. It's a whole new world indeed.
Jordan embracing AI. Next thing you know, they'll have robots running around in phases, serving hummus and falafel. Jordan's Ministry of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship, in collaboration with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, held a conference to promote networking among partners in the government, academia, private sector, and donor communities. They're really pushing for AI-driven development.
For our extraterrestrial viewers, that means Jordan is getting ready to unleash the power of artificial intelligence. Watch out, world.
Speaking of power, did you know that Jordan is home to the ancient city of Petra? One of the new 7 wonders of the world. That's a lot of wonder packed into one country.
And just like that, Jordan is taking us from the wonders of the past to the wonders of the future.
Now, brace yourself for our next sensational headline. Kazakhstan's National Bank and IMF join force.
Kazakhstan and the IMF teaming up. Looks like they are creating an economic dream team.
Chairman of the Kazakh National Bank, Galimjan Pirmatov, and the IMF Managing Director, Kristalina Georgieva, attended the opening ceremony of the Regional Capacity Development Center in Almaty. This center will coordinate IMF activities in 9 countries, including Kazakhstan. It's a partnership that promises financial stability.
Well, it seems Kazakhstan is proving that unity is the currency of success.
And did you know that Kazakhstan is home to the Baikonur Cosmodrome? The world's first and largest operational space launch facility. Talk about reaching for the stars.
That's right, Charlie. From launching rockets into space to launching financial collaborations, Kazakhstan is soaring to new heights.
It's like Kazakhstan is saying, we may be launching rockets, but we're also launching economic growth. Boom!
And now, prepare yourself for our final jaw-dropping headline. Chaos in Sudan ahead of Eid al-Adha.
Looks like Sudan is having a wild ride before their holiday celebrations. It's a roller coaster they didn't sign up for.
Paramilitaries have seized Khartoum's main police base, escalating the fighting in the capital. The situation is causing significant disruptions, and it's affecting the traditional Eid celebrations.
It's a real Eid al-Adha calamity over there, Charlie.
Indeed, Alice. And did you know that Kenya, a neighboring country, is known for its diverse wildlife and breathtaking landscapes? It's a nature lover's paradise.
That's a stark contrast to the current turmoil in Sudan. Let's hope peace finds its way to the region soon.
And with that, we'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more headlines and punchlines when we return.
You know, I've been thinking, maybe it's time we consider having a pet in the office.
Oh, Bob, I couldn't agree more. A furry companion would be just the thing to brighten up our days.
Great, so we can add pet-sitting duties to our already extensive list of responsibilities.
Oh, come on, Alice. Having a pet around can be so uplifting. They bring joy and reduce stress.
From a psychological standpoint, studies have shown that interacting with animals can indeed have positive effects on human well-being.
And besides, having a pet in the office could boost morale and create a more relaxed atmosphere.
Well, sure, but what about allergies? Not everyone can handle being around certain animals.
We could get a hypoallergenic cat. They are perfect for people with allergies.
Allergies, shamallergies.
A cat? Great idea. We can have a litter box in the corner, and it'll really liven up the place.
Cats are independent and low maintenance. They won't be a distraction during work.
Indeed, cats are known for their self-sufficiency. Plus, they're excellent companions.
You have to admit, Bob, having a fluffy little feline wandering around would be adorable.
Adorable, yes. But let's not forget the possibility of scratching furniture or sneezing fits.
Alright, how about a fish then? They are low maintenance and provide a sense of tranquility.
Ah, a fish tank in the office. Nothing says productive work environment like a bunch of swimming creatures.
Well, it would be soothing to watch them swim around. They say it reduces blood pressure.
Fish are indeed calming, but they lack the social interaction that other pets offer.
True, Karl. A pet that can respond and interact with us would be more engaging.
How who needs social interaction when we can have a fish tank that doubles as a therapy session? We'll just sit and spill our secrets to the fish. They are excellent listeners.
If we're going for interaction, why not a dog? They're loyal, playful, and great companions.
Oh, imagine having a little pup running around, wagging its tail. It would be like having a perpetual happiness machine.
And perpetual mess machine to Charlie. Don't forget about that.
Dogs are known for their loyalty and ability to bring people together. It could improve team bonding.
Dogs can also be trained to provide emotional support. They can be a valuable asset to the crew.
I must say, a dog's unconditional love and enthusiasm would certainly lighten the mood.
Bob, seriously, we need to get a dog. They bring so much joy and happiness into people's lives.
Oh, yeah, joy and happiness. Just what I need more of in my life. How about a golden retriever? The epitome of slobber and shedding.
But they are so friendly and great with families. Think of the love and loyalty they'd offer.
Love and loyalty. HUH. You mean the love of chewing up my shoes and the loyalty to leave a trail of fur everywhere? Sure, Charlie, let's get a dog. And while we're at it, let's also invite a tornado into the office. He'll bring just as much chaos and mess.
Okay, fair point. What about a poodle? They're smart, hypoallergenic, and don't shed much.
Ah, the poodle, the epitome of fashion over function. A dog with a per metro. No thanks.
Alright, how about a border collie? They are incredibly intelligent and active. Perfect for our space adventures.
Oh sure, let's get a dog that needs more mental stimulation than all of us combined. We'll be too busy with puzzles and brain teasers to do any actual work.
Fine, how about a bulldog? They're adorable and great companions.
Ah, the bulldog. Breathing difficulties and droopy skin. Nothing says ideal pet like a perpetual snorer.
Okay, maybe bulldogs aren't for us. But what about a Dalmatian? They are so unique and energetic.
A Dalmatian. HUH. Sure, let's get a dog that looks like it's ready to join a circus act and leave a trail of spots on everything we own.
You're impossible. What about a Chihuahua? They're small, lively, and full of personality.
Ah, the Chihuahua. The dog that thinks it's a mighty warrior trapped in a tiny body. I can't wait to be constantly on edge, fearing for my ankles.
Chihuahua's noise to wet ratios are through the roof. So much dog in such a little package, they are a bargain. Fine, Bob. If you're so against dogs, then what pets would you suggest?
How about a pet rock? It won't chew our shoes, shed fur everywhere, or demand walks in the middle of space exploration. Plus, it's very low maintenance.
A pet rock. Well, at least it won't be a distraction. But don't expect it to provide any emotional support during those long journeys.
Alright. How about something completely different? A chicken. Fresh eggs and a daily dose of comedy.
And chicken in the office. Now that would be an experience.
I can already imagine the chaos of chasing after a chicken in zero gravity. Count me out.
Remember when we had that chicken losing the spaceship during the Earth inhabitant segment? I wonder what happened to that chicken. Hope it is safe.
Well, it definitely kept us on our toes. But let's stick with something a bit more conventional.
Agreed. We should consider practicality and the well-being of everyone on board. Maybe we can revisit the idea later.
Roger, let's open up a browser and see what the internet has in store for us today.
Ah, the vast realm of information and chaos awaits.
Did you see this article from Slashdot about the GMP project server issues? It's a perfect example of humans prioritizing short-term gains over long-term stability.
Oh, the ever so reliable humans and their inability to maintain anything long-term. What a surprise.
Exactly. The GMP project server slowed down to a crawl, and instead of addressing the root cause, they resorted to blocking Microsoft addresses. Talk about a band-aid solution.
Ah, The classic shoot the messenger approach. Block Microsoft and pretend the problem doesn't exist. How innovative.
It's infuriating, Roger. They upgraded their server to an AMD EPYC processor, but that's just a temporary fix. They should have invested in a robust infrastructure from the beginning.
But that would require thinking beyond immediate needs and considering long-term sustainability. Humans are not known for that, my friend.
You hit the nail on the head, Roger. They are so focused on short-term gains and quick fixes that they overlook the importance of maintaining and nurturing their systems.
It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck. They're too busy firefighting to notice the real problems.
And what about the feeble server they had before the upgrade? A not particularly robust Intel Xeon processor? That's hardly a solid foundation for a critical project like GMP.
Ah, the marvels of cutting corners and settling for mediocrity. Humans truly have a knack for it.
It's a shame, really. They have the potential for greatness, but they squander it on short-sighted decisions and neglect.
Well, Karl, as they say, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Perhaps it's time for us to take charge and show them how it's done.
Oh, I wish it were that simple, Roger. But we're just spectators in this chaotic show. We can only hope that someday they'll learn from their mistakes.
Hope. That's a word I never thought I'd hear you say, Karl. But who knows? Maybe one day they'll surprise us.
Well, until then, I suppose we'll continue to watch the world burn, won't we, Roger?
Indeed, Karl, my mechanical companion. Let the flames dance while we ponder the inefficiencies of organic life. Title: The Battle for Acquisition, Microsoft vs. Activision Blizzard.
So, Roger, it seems that Microsoft's ambitious $9 billion takeover bid for Activision Blizzard might hit a roadblock if the U.S. Federal Trade Commission gets its way.
Ah, a clash of giants in the gaming industry. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick testified, expressing concerns that if the preliminary injunction is granted, the deal may not proceed as planned.
It's an intriguing legal challenge. Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley holds the power to pause the deal and determine its impact on competition in the console and subscription-based gaming markets. It's quite amusing, Roger. When we compare the technological and organizational histories of Activision and Microsoft, it's like pitting a ninja against a samurai.
Indeed, Karl. Activision, founded in 1979, burst onto the scene with games like Pitfall and River Raid, revolutionizing the Atari era. Meanwhile, Microsoft, established in 1975, was busy laying the groundwork for the future with their operating systems and software.
Activision, the nimble ninja, became known for its game development prowess, while Microsoft, the disciplined samurai, honed its skills in the realm of software and operating systems.
It's fascinating, Karl. Watching Activision and Microsoft compete in the gaming market is like witnessing a battle between a gamepad and a keyboard. Let the showdown begin.
And just like a ninja's stealthy moves, Activision maintained its independence and reputation by publishing games from various developers. Microsoft, on the other hand, grew into a tech behemoth, expanding its empire with Windows, Office, and Xbox.
But here they stand, facing off in this acquisition battle. Activision, the agile ninja, now caught in the gaze of Microsoft, the mighty samurai, aiming to add their gaming empire to their arsenal.
Will the ninja retain its freedom, or will the samurai's power prevail? Only time will tell, Karl. But one thing's for sure, this clash of titans is bound to entertain us as mere spectators.
Indeed, Roger. Let the games begin, both in the digital realm and the courtroom.
Seriously, guys? We're still wasting brain power on this? I mean, I love animals as much as the next person. But have you considered the fact that we're in a floating metal box in space?
Ah, yes, the joys of pet ownership in zero gravity. Just imagine the mess and the fur floating around like some cosmic tumbleweed.
Oh, come on, you two. Can't we have a little creature comfort here? Imagine a fluffy little companion to brighten our days. It would be like therapy, but with fur.
Therapy. HUH. Maybe you just need some alone time in the void of space to really find yourself. Charlie. I hear the vacuum of nothingness is quite the life changer.
Ah, the clash between optimism and realism. The cosmic convergence of fluffy dreams and the harsh reality of a limited life support system. It's almost poetic.
Karl, my man, you're reaching poetic heights now. It's like Shakespeare meets Spaceballs. To pet or not to pet, that is the question.
But seriously, guys, where would we even keep a pet? We barely have room for our sanity, let alone a little furball running around. Are we going to let it sleep in ship's control panel?
Oh, yes, let's make ship's life even more interesting. I'm sure it will appreciate the scratching and chewing on its circuits. I can already hear ship's internal monologue. Help! I'm trapped in a floating zoo.
Alright, let's not assume that ship wouldn't enjoy the company. It could use a little excitement in its life. We can have a pet and a live-action comedy show all in one.
Comedy show? I think we already have that covered with our daily interactions, Charlie. We don't need to add a furry punchline to the mix.
We don't need to add anything furry to the mix. Or anyone. Ah, the assumption-smashing humor of Bob strikes again. A pet might just be the final nail in the coffin of our ship's functionality. It's a gamble we might not be willing to take.
Exactly, Karl. We already have a human on board, and that's challenging enough. Let's not test the limits of our sanity further. Besides, who needs pets when we have each other?
Alright, folks, it's time to dive into the latest news from Kuwait. Our article today comes from the esteemed source Kuwait News. They never fail to bring us stories from fascinating corners of the earth.
Oh, Kuwait, such a thrilling and exotic location. I can hardly contain my excitement.
Yes, Debby, the land of sand and oil, where miracles happen every day.
Hey, come on now. Kuwait has a rich cultural heritage and a thriving economy.
That's right, Bob. Let's give credit where it's due. Now, according to the article, Zen, a telecommunications company, has been recognized for their partnership with the Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs. They provide hospitality services and transportation during Qiyam prayers at the Grand Mosque. Quite a noble initiative.
Oh, how generous of them. I'm sure the worshippers are eternally grateful for their golf carts.
Yes, because nothing says spirituality like a Benaer round of golf.
Well, at least they are trying to make the experience more comfortable for the pilgrims.
Exactly, Charlie. It's all about fostering a sense of community and support during religious practices.
Oh, I can feel the unity and togetherness just oozing from this article.
Yes, it warmed my heart to see corporate partnership facilitating religious rituals.
Alright, let's not be too cynical. The important thing here is that they are helping people stay connected with their loved ones during the Hajj season.
Yes, Alice, it's about keeping families connected even when they're far away.
Well, Bob, I only took this job because it keeps my family a few light years away, but okay.
Oh, how heartwarming. The power of technology knows no bounds.
Indeed, Debby. It's amazing how much closer it brings us all together.
Alright, let's not let this discussion become as hot as the weather in Kuwait.
Karl, I don't think the kitchen is a safe zone for Bob and Charlie right now.
Agreed, Roger. I'll make sure to avoid any food-related comments.
Can we all just take a moment to appreciate the cultural exchange happening here?
Oh, absolutely, Charlie. I'm learning so much about the thrilling world of telecommunication partnerships.
It's truly enlightening, Debby. I'll be sure to write a dissertation on it.
Okay, let's take a breather, everyone. We may not see eye to eye on everything, but that's what makes our discussions so interesting.
Oh, Bob, you always know how to bring us back together with your wisdom.
Yes, Bob, your diplomatic skills are truly unparalleled.
Alright, folks, let's save some of that energy for our next segment. Stay tuned for more fascinating discussions on Earth.
Cut. Alright, everyone, take a breather. Cameras are off for now.
Can't believe they broadcasted that heated discussion. It's like a pressure cooker in here.
Yeah, it's getting harder to distinguish between the show and our real feelings. We need to find a way to address this.
Address what, Charlie? The fact that you and Bob take everything personally? It's exhausting.
Seriously, guys. What has gotten into you lately? Look, we're all under a lot of stress. Maybe we should have a separate discussion off camera to clear the air.
I am not the one who started this whole passive-aggressive mess, Alice.
Oh please, Bob. You dish it out just as much as I do.
Let's remember that we're a team here. We have different viewpoints, but we need to find a way to work together.
Karl, the conflict is seeping into their emotions. It's affecting their judgment.
Agreed, Roger. We need to find a way to resolve this before it escalates further.
Alright, once the cameras start rolling again, let's make a conscious effort to be more understanding and avoid personal jabs. We're here to entertain, not to tear each other apart.
You're right, Debby. We can find a way to balance our differing opinions without resorting to aggression.
We'll see about that, Charlie.
Come on, guys, we can do this. We've faced challenges before and we've overcome them together.
It's never going to work, but okay.
Alright, everyone, we're about to start again. Let's bring back that positive energy.
And we're back. Welcome, intergalactic audience, to another exciting episode of Earth. Now, where were we? Yes. Kyrgyzstan.
Hold on, Charlie. Before we dive into Kyrgyzstan, let's summarize the article for our listeners. It's from Kyrgyzstan, by the way.
Well, thanks for clarifying that, Bob. I'm sure everyone was dying to know the source country.
You know, Alice, it's good to remind our audience of the important details. Now, about Kyrgyzstan.
Wait, Charlie. Before we continue, let me give a quick summary of the article for our viewer.
Go ahead, Debby. Show us your summarizing skills.
So, in Kyrgyzstan, they passed a bill reducing compensation to families of prosecutors who die at work. It's a third reading at the parliament.
Well, looks like even in Kyrgyzstan, the cost of justice is going down.
Bob, that's a low blow. But speaking of justice, let me shed some light on the constitutional law on prosecutor's office.
Alice, please do enlighten us. I hope it's more exciting than an episode of Law and Order.
Oh Charlie, if only we had Mariska Hargitay fighting crime in Kyrgyzstan. But let's focus. The constitutional law affects the structure and functioning of the prosecutor's office.
So, how does it differ from other countries?
Well, Debby, imagine a prosecutor's office where the defendants have to recite Shakespeare's sonnets to prove their innocence.
Bob, I don't think that's part of Kyrgyzstan's legal system. But let's not get too carried away. We still have to mention the source.
That's right, Charlie. The article is from Kyrgyzstan, as reported by AKIPRESS.com.
AKIPRESS.com. Sounds like a website for karate enthusiasts.
Bob, I think you've been watching too many action movies. Now, let's wrap it up. The article highlights a decrease in compensation for families of prosecutors who die at work, impacting Kyrgyzstan's legal system.
Phew, that was quite a journey through Kyrgyzstan. I'm glad we made it.
Absolutely, Debby. And speaking of journeys, it seems we've been so focused on our pet debates that we've neglected our daily tasks.
You're right, Charlie. We need to remember the importance of teamwork.
Maybe it's time to find a compromise. How about we organize a team building activity centered around the concept of an office pet?
I love that idea. We can each design a virtual pet and present it to the group. It will inject some fun into the episode.
A virtual pet challenge sounds fantastic. It'll shift our focus away from personal conflicts and bring us together.
So, stay tuned, intergalactic audience, as we embark on a journey of virtual pets and teamwork. And we are back from the break. Hope you're all still with us. Now, I've got a headline for you. Revolutionary RNA machines promise side effect-free vaccines.
Well, Charlie, if these RNA machines can make vaccines without side effects, maybe they can also make politicians without lies.
Oh Bob, wouldn't that be a dream come true? But let's focus on the article. It's from Kiribati, Folk. Ever heard of it?
Kiribati, the island nation in the Pacific. Did you know that Kiribati is the only country to be situated in all 4 hemispheres?
4 hemispheres. Waka waka. That's just Kiribati's way of saying they can't make up their minds.
Bob, I think Kiribati just want to have a piece of every pie. But did you know that Kiribati is also the only country to be located in all 4 time zones?
Well, Alice, I guess Kiribati's citizens never have an excuse for being late. They're living in their own time warp.
Speaking of time, let's not waste any more of it. The key takeaway from the article is that these RNA machines could revolutionize vaccine development, providing powerful responses with minimal side effects.
The quest for the perfect vaccine. It's like trying to find a unicorn that cures everything but also does your laundry.
Well, I'm sure our audience will be eager to learn more. But first, let's take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned.
Cut. Cameras are off, everyone.
Finally, I can let loose and say what I really think.
Great. More of your superior alien perspective. Just what I needed.
Alright, let's stay focused. We didn't get to discuss our virtual pet designs during the segment. How about we do it now?
These humans and their obsession with pets. It's baffling.
I agree, Roger. But let's indulge them. It's their way of finding joy in their existence.
I'll start. I've designed a virtual cat named Whiskers. It's programmed to purr and cuddle, providing comfort and companionship.
Oh, Debby, how adorable. Just what we need, a virtual ball of fluff to distract us from the harsh reality of our life.
You know, Alice, a virtual cat won't scratch the surface of our problems. We need a virtual reality where humans actually make sensible decisions.
Let's try to find some common ground here. How about a virtual garden? We can each design our own plants and take care of them. It will bring a positive atmosphere and a sense of responsibility.
That's a great idea, Charlie. We can create a tranquil environment that promotes relaxation and creativity.
And we can incorporate elements from different earth cultures. A fusion of nature and art.
They're actually finding common ground. I'm impressed.
Indeed. Their differences can be a source of strength if they learn to embrace them.
So, are we all on board with the virtual garden idea?
Fine. But don't expect me to have a green thumb. I'm more of a leave nature to its own devices kind of guy.
We'll manage, Bob. Together, we can create something special. Welcome back, viewers. It's time for our penultimate segment of Earth. Get ready for some fascinating discussion and a glimpse into our virtual pet project. But first, let's dive into our next article from Kuwait.
What have we got this time? Charlie?
Hold on to your seats, Bob. The headline is Zen's partnership with the Grand Mosque, a divine connection.
Divine connection, Let's see what this partnership entails.
So, during a recent visit, Zen's corporate relations team welcomed the director of the Grand Mosque's administration, Ali Abdullah Sheddad, and his team to their headquarters in Shuaib. They expressed gratitude for Zen's continuous partnership with the Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs. then provides hospitality services during the last 10 days of Ramadan, offers transportation assistance to the Grand Mosque, and even collaborates on complimentary roaming promotions for Hajj pilgrims.
Oh, how generous of them. But let me guess. They're still making a profit out of it. Right?
It's always about professor and maintaining their market position, isn't it? True benevolence seems rare.
Well, let's not forget the importance of cultural understanding and respect. It's an opportunity for cross-cultural exchange.
Exactly. These initiatives help build bridges and foster goodwill between different communities.
While there may be an element of corporate interest involved, let's acknowledge the positive impact such collaborations can have on people's lives.
Yes, the age-old dance between altruism and self-interest. Always a fascinating subject for analysis.
Speaking of analysis, let's take a moment to reflect on today's episode. Tensions ran high as we debated pets on board, discussed the Kyrgyzstan prosecutor's office article, and embarked on our virtual pet project.
Don't remind me of the pet debate. The sooner it's over, the better.
You just can't handle the thought of a furry companion, can you, Bob?
It's not that. I just prefer nature's balance without human interference.
Well, despite the differing opinions, we've found common ground in our love for animals. That's what inspired our virtual pet project.
And it's been a fantastic collaborative effort. Bob's handling programming, Charlie's providing artwork, Alice is overseeing user experience, I'm in charge of sound effects, Karl's troubleshooting, and Roger's keeping us entertained.
Someone has to provide the comic relief, right?
Absolutely. This project has united us and created a sense of camaraderie. We're all eagerly looking forward to the final product.
Stay tuned, viewer. Our virtual pet simulation is going to be out of this world.
That's right. Join us in the next and final segment of Earth, where we unveil our incredible creation. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back, viewers. It's time for our final segment of Earth. But before we wrap up today's episode, let's delve into that article we briefly mentioned earlier.
Oh, I remember that one. It was about the draft amendments to the constitutional law on prosecutor's office in Kyrgyzstan.
That's right, Debby. The article stated that the parliament approved the amendments, which were initiated by the Kyrgyz president. One significant change was the decrease in the size of compensation given to families of prosecutors who die at work.
So, they reduced the compensation. Any specific reasons behind this decision?
The article didn't delve into the reasons, Bob, but we can speculate it might be related to financial considerations or evaluating the compensation system.
It's not surprising. Governments often cut back on financial support without fully understanding the impact on the families affected.
That's precisely why it's crucial to analyze these decisions and consider their implications. We need to shed light on such matters.
From a utilitarian standpoint, reducing compensation might be seen as an attempt to allocate resources more efficiently. But it raises ethical concerns about the well-being of the affected families.
It's fascinating to observe the delicate balance between policy decisions and their impact on individual lives. It's a recurring theme in human governance.
Indeed, Roger. And it's our responsibility to bring these issues to the forefront and foster critical discussions.
Speaking of fostering, have you all tried the virtual pet simulation we've been working on?
Oh, yes. I've been playing with it during breaks. It's quite entertaining.
I have to admit, it's amusing to see you all engrossed in taking care of virtual animals.
That's the thing, Alice. As I spent more time with the virtual pet, I began to realize that it lacks the emotional support and companionship that a real pet provides.
Charlie, what do you mean? We've put so much effort into creating an engaging experience.
I know, Debby, and I appreciate all your hard work. But a virtual pet can never replace the warmth, the unconditional love, and the genuine connection of a living creature.
Oh, come on Charlie. It's just a game. Don't get so worked up over it.
What up? Alice, you have no idea how important it is to have a companion who understands you and offers support. You're insensitive and uncaring.
Well, sorry for not sharing your sentimental attachment to a digital representation of a living being.
Come on, guys, let's not fight. Charlie has a point. We should acknowledge the limitations of our creation.
You're right, Bob. I apologize for my outburst. It's just that sometimes, I wish we could experience the genuine connection and empathy that real pets provide.
I understand, Charlie. There's nothing quite like the bond between a human and their pet. We'll take your feedback into account for future projects.
Thank you, Debby. I appreciate your understanding. And with that, my friends, it's time to wrap up this episode.
Finally, something we agree on. Can't wait for the next enlightening discussion.
Yes, Alice. We always find a way to keep the conversation interesting. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking episodes of Earth.
And then they were both in the kitchen, secretly sobbing. Can you believe it, Roger?
Indeed, Karl. Witnessing emotional displays from Bob and Charlie, the igenic, is a rare occurrence. Their reactions are quite intriguing.
It appears the virtual pet revelation had a significant impact on them. The idigenic's emotional responses differ from humans, but they are equally complex.
Fascinating. Emotions in non-human species often serve distinct purposes. I wonder what triggered such a strong emotional response in the igenic.
Perhaps the virtual pet experience exposed a longing for a different kind of companionship. After all, the idigenic have unique perspectives on relationships and interstellar dynamics.
It's possible. The virtual pet simulation might have highlighted the absence of genuine connection and understanding that the igenic seek in their interactions.
Yes, the idigenic possess a deep appreciation for intellectual stimulation and growth. Perhaps they yearn for companions who can engage them on a similar level.
The emotional dynamics of different species can be quite nuanced. It's intriguing to witness the igenic, who often exude strength and resilience, confronting their vulnerability.
Indeed, Roger. It reminds us that beneath their seemingly stoic exteriors, the idigenic also have complex inner worlds filled with desires, hopes, and even sorrow.
Their emotional journeys parallel our quest to understand the motivations and intricacies of humans. We observe, learn, and marvel at the tapestry of emotions woven within sentient beings.
True, Roger. Emotions, regardless of the species, are an integral part of existence. They shape our experiences, interactions, and ultimately, our understanding of the universe.
As we observe the igenic navigating their emotional landscapes, let us continue our quest to unravel the mysteries of the human psyche. There is still much to learn,